blackenedbourbonbraised.com, and today I'm going to show you how to cook blackened and bourbon braised pork tenderloin. It's going to be pretty awesome. Now you can do this for Mardi Gras if you like, or any time of year. It would be even a beautiful midweek dinner. So I've got a 1 pork tenderloin. It's 0.55 kilograms, which is 1 1/4 pounds roughly. Okay. Now what we need is some blackening spice rub. Now if you don't have that, you haven't purchased that, it's super easy to make. Make sure you check out my show for how to make blackening spice rub. And I just whipped one up here. Alright, so now that we've mixed up this gorgeous spice rub, the blackening spice rub with all these special spices, we are going to coat our pork tenderloin with butter first. Now this is to help the spices adhere, as well as to help in the blackening process. Now the blackening isn't just it burning, okay, the spices burning. The spices are blackening, and they're actually developing a beautiful and unique flavor that's blackened, right? What we call blackened. So my pork tenderloin, I've dried it off, patted dry with a clean, dry paper towel, and let's just get some melted butter all over this gorgeous piece of meat. Now tenderloin tends to be nice and lean. You want to cut off any silver skin you may have that's going to be not tasty. So heat up a cast iron skillet, preferably, or a large frying pan that you can put in the oven as well, okay, oven proof. So I have this preheating on a medium-high heat with a couple tablespoons of olive oil, and it's ready to go. So now that we've got this all nice and buttered up, I'm going to coat this with my beautiful blackened spice rub mixture, okay? And you don't want to be shy when it comes to this stuff. So we're going to generously coat this and push the spice rub into the meat. You want to completely coat it all over the place. This is what's going to develop that gorgeous, tasty crust. Lots and lots of flavor. Ooh, that's going to be spicy, which is nice because you have this gorgeous meat that is just like a blank canvas. And that looks gorgeous. Look at that. Woo! Don't skim. Again, if you wanted to add onion and garlic powder into your blackened mixture, that's awesome and ideal as well. But not everyone in my household eats onion and garlic. They don't appreciate it, so we don't do that. Now you need to bring your pan up to a nice smoke. See how my oil is smoking just a little bit? Don't be afraid. You're probably going to want to put on your fan. Okay, we'll put that on low. So this is smoking and we're ready to go. Don't be afraid of this blackening. I also have a splatter guard because surely this is going to splatter everywhere. Do your best to dry off that pork tenderloin as best you can before you get started. Alright, so into the pan it's going to go. We're going to work really quickly. I need to get some vegetables prepared and cut into small pieces. This is going to finish in the oven maybe 15-20 minutes. So I need things to be able to cook just that quickly. Alright, and in it goes. You're going to hear that beautiful sizzle, and we're going to do our best not to disturb this, okay? We want this to cook and form a nice crust, and only when it's blackened am I going to turn it over on the other side. Look at that. Sexy. I'm also preheating my oven to 350 degrees so everything can finish in there. Now let's get our veggies done. So I'm using Mardi Gras colors today with my vegetables. I have some beautiful golden potatoes that I'm going to cut up. I have some nice baby bok choy, and I have some purple cabbage, and that's going to be a beautiful accompaniment to our blackened and bourbon braised pork tenderloin. Make sure you're checking on this. All seems well. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. This is all nice and washed. I'm going to cut my potatoes into small dice, okay? I need these to cook relatively quickly, like 20 minutes in this oven, okay? So let's get them chopped up nice and fine, nice dice. You can use whatever kind of potatoes you like. Just make sure they're in small enough bits that they'll cook that quickly. If you want to parboil them, or you want to do them in the microwave first to get them halfway there, that's always a good option. Alright, this is ready to flip. You're going to just peek underneath that side just to make sure that it's nice and cooked. and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Ready? Ooh. Here we go. Look at that glorious piece of blackened pork tenderloin. That's exactly what we want. And that is not burnt, so don't be afraid. Lovely. Once you get the top and the bottom done, oh, it smells so good. Once you get the top and the bottom done, you're going to want to try and get the sides as well, as best you can. What a gorgeous tenderloin. Now, I've also started to cut up my thinly sliced cabbage. Again, this stuff has to cook in 20 minutes, right? We're going to get this as thin as possible, within reason. Break them up, make sure it's not in one just big block. Use enough veggies for everyone that you're going to be feeding, however much you can, or however much you can fit in your pan. That's going to be your limiting factor. And I'm going to slice up my little bok choy. I'm just going to quarter them, but I'm going to leave the bottoms intact. Gorgeous. Combine these guys in a large mixing bowl so that you can toss them with some oil and some spices. Home stretch. You've got this gorgeous blackened bark on there. All right, I'm going to use the rest of this melted butter on my veg. Don't want to waste that, but it does have to be cooked now. I'm also going to douse it with a tablespoon or two of a nice olive oil. A little bit of salt. And I'm going to add a little bit more of this blackening spice. You could always add a little bit of Cajun spice, Creole spice, whatever it is that you prefer or desire on that night. All right, so I'm going to toss these guys, the potatoes and the cabbage and that bok choy. Just get them coated. That's all you need to do. Coated and seasoned. All right, now let's get this ready for the oven. You can still hear it sizzling. And what a gorgeous specimen of a blackened roast. Look at that. So it's perfectly blackened. It's not burnt. You can smell those spices have just the most beautiful aroma. And things get kind of toasty and spicy and almost even a little bit, I almost feel like I can smell cinnamon or allspice with it, just the way that these things combine in the pan. All right, so now we've got all this beautiful veg all dressed up. No place to go. It's got a place to go. Let's get it in this pan. Nice and hot. Spread them out as best you can. You want everything to evenly cook as quickly as possible. Gorgeous. Your limiting factor here is going to be the potatoes. Potatoes don't taste nice when they're not cooked all the way. But the bok choy and the cabbage you can totally get away with a little bit crunchier. Now, look at those New Orleans colors, Louisiana colors, Mardi Gras colors. All right, I'm going to add a bay leaf to this mixture. Just get it in underneath there. I'm going to add a ½ cup of bourbon, or you could use any other kind of whiskey, however you want to roll. You could use chicken stock if you don't want to use alcohol. You could even go with white wine if you really wanted to, maybe even red wine. Sprinkle the top, just a little bit more spice, and we're off to the races. Look at this gorgeous, gorgeous spread. That's going to be pretty to bring to the table as well. That blackening sear has encapsulated all the beautiful moisture inside that pork tenderloin. And now what we're going to do, we're going to braise it. Braising means you are roasting with a wet atmosphere, as opposed to roasting with a dry with no liquid, right? So I do have a little bit of liquid in the bottom here. I'm going to ever so lightly, loosely cover this with a aluminum foil tent. You need things to be able to breathe, to roast, but not get soaked. All right, into the oven this beautiful creation goes. We're going to check it in 20 minutes or so. Really all you need is to get those potatoes done and to make sure the pork is done all the way through. All right, this has been in for 20 minutes. Let's take a quick look at the doneness and I'll show you what everything looks like right now. It looks wonderful. Look at that. All right. We're gonna check the potatoes for doneness. Just use a nice sharp knife and make sure they're knife tender. They should be. Yep, that looks good. Now, let's check the temperature, internal temperature of our roast. We need it to come up to at least 165 right now because it's going to have to rust. and it will raise in temperature as it sits and rests before we cut it. And we are at perfect 163. All right, so let's let this guy rest. In fact, I think I'm going to take him out and let him rest by himself. That seasoning smells amazing. Now we're going to put this aluminum foil back on top of him loosely and just let him kind of chill out for a minute. If you decided you wanted to cut him right now, all of that liquid you've tried so hard to sear in and keep in there and braise in will all run out. And that's not what you want, dry meat, after you did all that. Look at this glorious looking blackened pork tenderloin. It is, man, the fragrance is unbelievable. Huh, Mom? Yep. Ooh. It smells beautiful. Cover that up. Let's let them rest for at least 5 minutes. It's a nice kind of thin cut of meat, so it should be just fine with 5 minutes. Let's keep these veggies warm. How about that? So stir those veggies up in all that beautiful juice now that's rendered from your pork and all those gorgeous spices and all of the veggies put together along with that bourbon. Stir them back up, and I'm going to keep them in the oven until we're ready to serve. The vegetables look amazing. And we're going to cut our gorgeous tenderloin, who has now had some time to rest and think about things. And he's chilling now. So we're going to slice him. I like to kind of slice it on a bias, a nice little, I don't know, 1/2 inch to 1 inch slice. Look at that. Nice and moist, juicy. I like my pork well done, so it's well done. Oh, gorgeous. Now we're going to serve this family style on a platter tonight, but you can certainly plate these individually on individual plates, right? So I'm just going to slice almost the whole thing. I'll show you how I like to do tenderloin, how to show it off. These beautiful slices. Look at that. Oh, this meat is so juicy, and the crust is unbelievable. It's all staying put just like I want it to. It's because we didn't mess with it very much while it was in the pan. Alright, so we're going to plate Mr. Tenderloin right in the center of our platter. And I kind of like to zigzag the presentation of the sliced pieces, just for fun. It looks very nice. It's easy to grab them that way. And you just work your way back to the front. Okay? Gorgeous. Oh, that is divine. So there's that zigzag I'm talking about, right? It's kind of visually appealing and fun. This would be lovely even for tailgating. All right, so we're just going to spoon these veggies along the sides of this tenderloin. I'm gonna just bring this whole thing to the table, take the bay leaf out. Try and get those baby bok choys on the top with that gorgeous green.
Would be lovely in the middle of the banquet of the buffet.
Right, wouldn't it? This is really pretty. And you have the beautiful golden color of the potatoes, you've got that purple cabbage, and you've got the lovely bok choy on the top. Now you can mix and match, you can do whatever you want with whatever veggies you like. Carrots would be great in here, celery would be great if you just wanted to do mid-fall or winter dinner. Oh, the fragrance coming from this is unreal. All those spices just come together in such a beautiful way. I almost want to say it's reminiscent of jerk, of a jerk fragrance, but a little bit less spicy, my version anyway. And I'm going to reserve this sauce because what I want to do is pour it all over that meat and just let it kind of cascade down through the meat. All right, so I'm just breaking up some fresh parsley just for some fresh and bright, crisp green herb on top, just for color and flavor too. I like the flavor of parsley, not everyone does. Just let these fall where they may. You could also use cilantro if you wanted to. Look at that. This is absolutely beautiful. And now we're ready to pour the rest of this beautiful liquid from the braise, bourbon, all over those pieces. Just let that sauce just cascade all over those pieces, kind of like a gravy. Oh my goodness. divine. This looks crazy good. If you've never considered blackening things in your kitchen, you will change your mind with this recipe. And voila, what a gorgeous platter of pork tenderloin complete with the sides. Potatoes done in the same braising liquid with the purple cabbage and those beautiful bok choys. You're gonna love this, I'm telling you. Ridiculous good. Look at that. Look at that blackened crust. Oh, come on. Serve you some, yeah? Grab a couple gorgeous slices of the pork, fan that out on one side. You can do what you want. And then grab yourself some of these gorgeous veggies and some of that braising liquid. Mom loves bok choy, one of her favorite veggies.
Love it.
And Mom's been doing so good on her paleo diet. I guess this is paleo friendly. Here you go, sweetie.
Oh, wow.
Here you are.
Thank you.
Sexy plate, right?
Right. Thanks, honey. That looks fabulous.
Now, Mom's never had blackened anything before.
No.
All right, well, my plate looks awesome. I don't know what you guys think, but I'd be pretty happy with that little blackened pork plate. What do you think, Mom?
Oh, it is so good.
You like it?
I can't even tell you how good that is.
Now, imagine garlic and onion being in it, of course.
Even better.
However, I did try to keep it on the lower spice level for you because I know a lot of blackened spice rubs can be super spicy, and you know, not everyone enjoys that, and the whole point is that you guys can enjoy your dinner together, right?
That is so good. I don't want my pork tenderloin done any other way.
Never do it another way,
Wow.
Mom says. Okay.
So
Crazy
tender, it
good.
just melts in your mouth.
I'm glad you said that. The pork is nice and juicy. It stayed juicy because we seared it very well and we didn't mess with it. And then we let it rest after it was finished doing everything it needed to do to cook.
Fabulous.
The crust of that blackened spice rub has a gorgeous heat. It has such a wide variety of spice, and the combination of that mixed with the butter that gets all nutty as it browns
Like
and
candy all around it.
wonderful. You're gonna like this. And how do you like the veg in there?
Right. Just wonderful. Everything. That is a marvelous gem.
Good.
Wow. My
It's-
box was good.
It's infused with that bourbon flavor, as are the vegetables, but it's not overpowering. You know? And don't worry, the alcohol all cooks off so kids can eat this too. The cabbage is great like that. How's your bok choy?
Amazing.
All those spices from that rub.
On a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 15.
It's a 15. I am so glad you said that. And you know, every time I say blackened something, Mom kind of turns her nose up. Like, I don't think I'd like that. And so I figured we'd have to do it tonight.
So good, Penny.
Once you go blackened, you never go back.
No.
That's so good.
Yes.
Just the right amount of spice, yeah? You're gonna love this. Please try this recipe for blackened and bourbon braised pork tenderloin. You're gonna love it. Follow me on Twitter at Cooking with Kim E with a capital E. Like the fan page at facebook.com/cookingwithkimberly. My shows are on ifood.tv/cookingwithkimberly, youtube.com/cookingwithkimberly. You can find my channel on Roku, Cooking with Kimberly, and I'm also syndicated on Apple TV and Amazon. Come to my website at cookingwithkimberly.com and subscribe. Interact with us and let us know what's going on in your culinary world, all right? Be a champion in your kitchen and eat deliciously. Bye!